It's the middle of the day at a small airport in Varna, Bulgaria. A construction worker in a reflective vest walks into a small doctor's office inside the airport. He just needs to ask a quick question before getting back to work. He barely looks up when he steps inside. Then he notices a young man sitting on the exam table. The man's name is Lars Mittank. He's 28 years old. He looks tired and tense, like someone who hasn't slept much. But at first glance, he doesn't look dangerous or out of control. Then Lars looks up. The second their eyes meet, something flips. Lars goes pale. His whole body stiffens, and without saying anything, he jumps off the table and runs like his life depends on it. He storms out of the office, yelling that he doesn't want to die. He sprints past airport staff, past security, straight across the parking lot. He reaches a tall fence topped with barbed wire, climbs it like a madman, and disappears into the woods surrounding the airport. That's the last time anyone ever sees Lars Mittank. To understand how someone ends up doing something like that, it helps to rewind just a few days earlier, before everything went sideways. It's June 2014, and Lars is on what's supposed to be a fun, easy trip. He's from northern Germany and has traveled to a seaside resort in Bulgaria called Golden Sands with 4 of his best friends. It's a classic guys' holiday. Lars isn't the type to get into trouble or spiral for no reason. He's just a normal guy in his 20s, happy to be on vacation. For the first part of the trip, everything is fine. Then one night, they're at a bar watching a soccer game, and Lars gets into an argument with another group of men. It sounds minor, the kind of argument that usually ends with people yelling for a minute and then moving on. But this one turns physical. Lars gets punched in the head. His friends pull him away, and the situation ends. But afterward, Lars isn't himself. He's shaken. He keeps touching his ear. He says something feels wrong. Later that night, Lars goes out alone to get food at McDonald's. He doesn't come back for hours. When he finally returns, it's late, and his friends can tell immediately that something is off. Lars says he was attacked again. He claims men followed him. He says they were Russian or Bulgarian hitmen. At first, his friends think he's just scared and exaggerating after the fight, but then they look at his ear. It's clearly injured. They take him to a doctor who confirms that Lars has a perforated eardrum. It's painful, disorienting, and dangerous if pressure changes too quickly. The doctor tells him he absolutely cannot fly right now because the air pressure could make things much worse. So Lars stays behind while his friends fly home. This is where things start getting really strange. Lars checks into a cheap hotel near the airport. Almost immediately, the staff notice his behavior isn't normal. He's pacing the hallways in the middle of the night. He's stepping into elevators and then backing out like he's afraid of being trapped. He keeps scanning the lobby and the exits. At around 3 in the morning, Lars calls his mom. He's whispering. He tells her people are watching him. He says men are coming to kill him. He begs her to cancel his bank cards because he's scared someone will take his money. His mom tries to calm him down, telling him he's safe and that he needs to rest. But Lars doesn't sound tired. He sounds terrified. The next morning, he packs up and goes to the airport anyway, hoping an airport doctor will clear him to fly home. But when the construction worker steps inside, Lars reacts like he's just seen something horrifying. And then he runs. Later, investigators discover that Lars never even picked up the antibiotics the doctor prescribed. He wasn't on medication that could explain hallucinations or confusion. So whatever fear took over his mind wasn't being caused by drugs. Some people think the punch he took to the head messed something up and caused sudden paranoia. Others think the stress of the fight, lack of sleep, alcohol, and fear all piled up at once and broke something in him psychologically. And then there's the woods. Search teams comb the area for weeks. They use dogs. They bring in helicopters. They find nothing. No sign that Lars survived or died out there. Years later, A truck driver claims he saw a barefoot man walking along a road who looked like Lars, but by the time police follow up, there's nothing there. It's like he ran into the forest and vanished. And this isn't the only time someone disappeared while traveling, leaving behind more questions than answers. In September 2007, in England, another disappearance starts in a much quieter way. It's a busy Friday morning at Doncaster train station. A small, quiet boy steps up to the ticket window. His name is Andrew Gosden. He's 14 years old. He asks for a ticket to London. The ticket seller mentions that a return ticket is only slightly more expensive. Most people choose it without thinking. Andrew pauses, then calmly says no. He only wants a one-way ticket. He pays, puts his earphones in, and walks toward the platform. At 9:35 that morning, Andrew gets on the train, and he never comes home. Andrew isn't the kind of kid people expect to run away. He's incredibly smart, especially at math. He's quiet, polite, and keeps to himself. He doesn't drink, smoke, or cause trouble. He doesn't even have social media. At home, things are stable. His parents are loving. There's no history of abuse, no big fights. That morning, his parents think he's at school. Instead, Andrew skips class for the first time ever. He goes home, changes into his favorite black Slipknot t-shirt, empties 200 pounds from his bank account, and heads to the station. He leaves his phone, laptop, and clothes behind. At 11:20 a.m., CCTV captures Andrew arriving at King's Cross in London. He walks out into the crowd carrying a small bag with rock band pins on it, and then he disappears. For years, people guess at what might have happened. Maybe he planned to meet someone. Maybe he wanted to see a concert. Maybe he thought London would give him a fresh start. But there's no proof of any of it. Andrew's room stays exactly the same. His school books are still open. A math problem sits half-finished on his desk. 14 years go by with nothing. Then, in December 2021, police announced that 2 men have been arrested in connection with Andrew's disappearance. For the first time in over a decade, it feels like answers might finally come. Then the arrests fall apart. The evidence isn't enough, the men are released, and the case goes quiet again. Andrew Gosden is still missing, just like Lars Mittank. One ran in absolute panic. The other walked away calmly, like he had a plan. Neither left a note. Neither was caught on camera doing anything obviously dangerous. And both families are still waiting. What do you think really happened to Lars in those woods? And why would a kid like Andrew buy a one-way ticket if he didn't plan on coming back? Comment your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.